All right. Today I'm going to build a game. I don't know. This game I'm thinking to be a game that it will help somebody. When you are bored, you can play with your friends. Just a guessing game. A game that you guess a number. I'll tell you a number from 1 to 10 or 1 to 100, and you guess a number. Computer will generate a number, and you can guess that number. Okay, so and the computer will tell you whether you guess the number correct, or if the number is too high, the number you guess is too high than the number that computer generated, or is too low. Okay, I don't know how the game will look like visually, but if you want to see the final product of the game, you can scroll all the way to the end so that you can see the outcome. So, but my thinking is this way. Okay, let me draw a small kind of a, let's put it like that. Okay, so my thinking is have a game, like that, and I will have a pattern, maybe a pattern with something like that. Okay, and then we have another. We have, that's not a pattern. I mean, this is an input. Okay, and then we can put this, for example. Okay, we can submit, and maybe something like another pattern here. Okay, maybe something like that. Okay, so and then here I will say guess a number between, between 1 and 10, for example. Okay, and it will be up here as a number. Let me make it small. Okay, so and then here will be submit. Okay, and then this one will be play again, something like that, or a reset. Okay, that, and then we can have that from here. Okay, so and then something like that, very simple. What you learn in this is you learn how to manipulate the DOM using JavaScript. You will learn how to style a simple game like this, and then how you will test, using condition. If somebody put a number which is higher than the generated number, it will tell you. Okay, so again, this is from scratch, and we'll think together. Okay, so let's go. Minimize that, put there. So let's create a folder here, and then go this folder. Let's call guessing game. Okay, guessing number game. Okay, let's call that way. I will open this folder using Visual Studio Code or your favorite IDE. We'll open that. So okay, that's my IDE, and I will use this IDE to put together. Okay, so okay, let's create a folder. Let's put an index.html, and then let's create all the files that we need. Okay, styles.css, and then final script. .js. Okay, so let's start with this. Get the boilerplate. You do exclamation mark, enter, and then guessing game, guessing number game. Okay, those. Okay, so let's do the boilerplate. Okay, so how can we start? Okay, let's bring in the CSS first. Okay, we have style. Is it an S? We have an style. Sorry, here. So that's an S, and then we can have down here. We can bring in the script. Okay, source of script .js. Okay, we're done with that. Okay, for you to test whether everything is good, you can write body here, an element with the background color of red, and then you can see what it look like. And then you go here. I installed this extension called live, open with live server. If you click that, you'll be able to see this one here. Okay, so look ugly, but this is the same. So at least now I can say that style sheet CSS is wired correctly. Okay, cool. So let's see what we need to start with first. Okay, let's start with the game container. Okay, so let's have a div of called game container. Okay, container. So, and in that game container, what we need to do is to prompt the user to put something. Okay, number guess. So let's have a title of the game. Okay, let's call it number guessing game. Okay, that's the title of our game. Okay, so let's start here with a paragraph of a class of message. That's where we'll tell people what the game is doing. Okay, guess a number between 1 to 10. Let's use 10 for now. Okay, you can extend to 100 if you want. Okay, so let's have an input so that you will see. Sorry, input of type number. So because we need a number, let's give this number an ID of case. Okay, this is where it will pick the number. We'll get the number that we can use in the JavaScript part of it. We have a minimum of 1 and a maximum of this kind of validation, so that we don't have to worry about somebody putting in a weird number again. And this is to make you of type number. Having an input of type number will prevent somebody from putting a string instead of a number. Okay, so and then we need two patterns. Okay, we need one pattern here, and then we said we need a pattern for. Let's bring this mockup. We have a pattern of submit and play again. Okay, so we are done with this, and then we are done with input here. Let's wire these two patterns here. Okay, so let's call pattern. Okay, so we have on this pattern we have to have on click. Okay, and then when we click that, so on JavaScript we have to make sure that it is on click. Okay, on click is equals to check the guess. Okay, check what we have. We'll have a function called check case. So check a guess or check guess in short. Okay, so we'll put that submit. Okay, we can put submit, we can put check the number that the user put in there. Okay, in between there, let's get the results. We don't want we need to tell the user if he gets or that user got correct number or not. Okay, let's put a class of results. That's where we'll give the input the user to tell the user that you are not you didn't get the correct answer. Okay, we don't want to put anything. We'll inject the values here using JavaScript. Okay, let's copy this one. We don't, so that we don't have to repeat typing too much. And then let's say reset the game. Okay, let's reset the game just in case we want to play again. Okay, so reset the game and we can say play again. Okay, this is to reset. Okay, this one is all what you need for the HTML part of it. So let's see what we have so far. Okay, as far as as ugly as it is, let me remove this. It's look ugly, so let's check this part here. Okay, let's run again. Okay, so at least it's much better. You can see we have check here, we have play again, something like that. Okay, so let's tile this one, and let me put it here. Okay, so let me get this one, remove that. Let's work with style. Let's split. With Visual Studio Code, it's very important to split so that you can see what you're doing in here. Okay, let me make this one small. Okay, let me put that one so I can see what I need. Okay, cool. So where do we start? Let's start with the body. Okay, so let's put the body that color. That's fine with me. Okay, so let's put everything. Let's get the font family. Font family. Let's put Arial. Levitica. That's fine with me. So let's go text align now. Let's align everything to the center. Okay, so and then let's have a margin of 0. We don't want anything to be on the side. We want a margin of 0, and then let's put up padding of let's put padding or padding, whichever, of 2 rem. Okay, we're done with that. Okay, so let's style the h1. Let's go get this part here. See this part here. So let's do all the h1, which we have 1. h1 we have 1. So let's put a color of good color of maybe asterisk ash 333. Okay, it's kind of a black, but not too black, so we're done with h1. So, and if you want to see what it will look like right now, is that it look like this. So everything is now to the center. So we are done with this. Now we're done. We are going to this. Okay, good. So let's deal with I think there's an error here, typo. Let's do the game container. The game container is this guy here. Okay, let's do this part. So it's a class. So we start with that dot game container. Game container. For the game container, let's put a background color of ash, maybe whitish, kind of white. Okay, so and then let's do border radius of 12 pixel, border radius of 12 pixel. Okay, so this will give us a beautiful, very beautiful rounded corners. Let's do padding of 2 rem. Okay, so this is standardized. If you are using 2 rem or rem, this is so that it display nicely using the browser default settings. Okay, so let's do box shadow. Box shadow. Box shadow of let's do 0 for the 0 for pixels, and then 20 pixel, and then RGPA of 0 for green, 0 for red, 0 for blue, and then alpha of 0. It's actually comma 0 0, and then 0.1 for the alpha. Okay, cool. So we're done with that. Let me delete these guys here. We don't need that. Okay, got it. And then let's put the maximum width. We don't want to be too big. We are at least to give a very nice width, max width of 400 pixels. We don't want, it's just a guessing game pixels. Okay, and then we have a margin of outer so that it positioned really nicely at the center. All right, so let's see what we have. Okay, see how beautiful it is. So we have a nice very nice box. Okay, let's put the input. Let's take care of the input. So this is the input here. Okay, on line 13. Okay, it's of type number, so we have to get this number because we need to control it, because we might have a lot of inputs, but in this case we have only one input. Okay, so and then want to put in the bracket and then type of that, and then let's style that input. Okay, let's put a padding of 0.5 rem, 0.5 rem to make it really nice, stand out. So and then we put margin bottom. Okay, for emmet in extension emmet in Visual Studio Code is very handy, so it autocomplete for you, so make work easier, very easier. So let's get that. Let's put a width, so width of 80%. Let's put 80%, width of 80%. Okay, and if I'm going too fast, you can stop me and slow it down. You can repeat it or rewatch it again. Okay, let's do the font size. Let's do font size of 1 rem. I think that's good enough. And then border radius. Sorry, border radius of 6 pixel. That's give it a very nice rounded corner. Okay, and then let's put a border of a solid border. Then we have a 1 pixel solid border, and it has to be really solid. And then we need a kind of DDD for off white as well, almost the same as background color. Okay, so what do you have so far? Okay, you have really nice, beautiful edges, 6 pixels and of the input, and it extended almost to the corner. Okay, cool. So let's do the patterns. Okay, Now we are done with that. Now let's do these two patterns here. The way to do the patterns, you do like that, and then we can do the background color of, background color. Let's put kind of greenish, let's have a dash 28A, 745. Okay, it's a little bit of green or deep green. Okay, let's put the color of the text in that pattern of F, of white as well, So, and then let's put padding of 0.75 rem, for example. And then, of course, at the side, left and right, we have 1.5 rem. Okay, so for this case, this is from top and bottom is 0.75 rem, and then from side, is 1.5. All right, let's do on that. Let's do the border radius of 8 pixel. Border radius of 8 pixels. Okay, it will give a really nice rounded corner. And then, let's bring the font size of 1 rem. 1 rem. Okay, and it will play. It will place really good on there. So let's put the cursor of pointer, so that in case when you want to click, it will give you that pointer view. Okay, let's put the margin bottom. Margin bottom. Margin bottom of 1 rem. Okay, I think that's it for buttons. Let's see what we have. Beautiful. Let's look at that. Okay, awesome. Okay, we're done with the buttons. Let's put, when you mouse the buttons, you at least you see so we could pseudo class here of background color of a little bit greenish, deep green now. So 8838. Okay, guys. So this is more of, just putting together things that come from my mind and see if I can be able to show you that, with more practice on application, you will be able to get this level. Okay, so don't rely so much on ChatGPT or whatever, so sometimes, you can think and code, practice. Even if you make mistake, you can practice more and more. Practice make perfect. Okay, so let's margin top. Let's do a margin top of 1 rem. Okay, cool. So in this case, let me bring again that that design that I drew with you guys. So let me use these arrows here. So this is the padding. This one is padding here. Sorry. So these are paddings here. Okay, you see these are padding. So, and then what I did was for the patterns, I put the patterns of 0.5 rem for this side here, and then 1.5 for this side here, and then 0.75 for that part here. Okay, so all right, let's continue. Let's do the message. Message is done. Okay, this part is this message is done here, and then let's do the results. This part here, which is now you cannot visually see this because it will be injected by JavaScript. Okay, let's do the results. Okay, font weight to bold. or bold. This is where it will tell you whether the results was too high or too low. Okay, so let's do this one a little bit bluish kind of color, so that it will give that that good look. Okay, so and then matching bottom. Let's do a matching bottom of 1 rem, for example. Okay, good, awesome. So let's see what we have so far. Okay, there will be a resource here in between these two patterns here. Okay, it's not doing anything right now because we have not wired anything. Okay, I think this is enough for the game to start. Let's wire now the JavaScript. Okay, we are done with this part here. Okay, so let's do the JavaScript part of it. Okay, let me split it again, remove this one here so that I can have this. Okay, let me start by saying, let me see what I can call this one. Okay, okay, function. Okay, and then we put that, and then calibrate. So this is called function. So, and we call this function by clicking the check button, okay, or submit button. So let's call it submit, so that a lot of people know that submit is to submit something. Okay, let's put an alert here so that we know we have wired our JavaScript nicely. Okay, we say hello, or you've clicked me, you've clicked me. Okay, let's see whether it will work. Okay, we'll see, refresh that. See, you've clicked me. That means we've wired these buttons here. Okay, let's try this one, and let's work on that one first. Okay, so the easiest part in wiring this part is let me go to the code again. Okay, so remove this. Okay, and before we go with that, so let's have what we call global variables. The global variable is the variable that it will be used internally in a function, and it can be called in several places, or it can be used in several places. So let's have and then use let, so that it doesn't block you from reassigning a number or reassigning a value later. Okay, so in JavaScript we have a function, we have a class called maths, and then in that class we have a function called flow. In that flow, that is, if you have a number, let's say you have a number of 1.78, so flow will take it to 1. Okay, so and then if you want, there's another one function, another method called ceiling. Okay, so that is, I think, ceiling, right? Yeah, I think so. So that will make it like, if it is 1.789, so that will round down to 2. Okay, so but flow in this case will, assuming the number is 1.34. okay, so that will round down to 1. Okay, that's the function of a flow. And then inside there we need to get a random number so that the computer will randomize. Okay, random number, and then for you to get a random number, you multiply by 10 so that it give you a number, because a random number get from 0 to 0.99999. It doesn't get to 1. Okay, so by multiplying by 10 is telling this function that whatever you return from this, you multiply by 10, you get a number which is a digit more than 1. Okay, and I'll show you in a minute. Okay, so and then for example, in this case, if we take this one, this number here, and in this oops, sorry. So let's allot that number. Okay, and I will show you what I mean by what the value the maths.random produce. Okay, let's go to the code here. Okay, so let me refresh that. So if I click this one here, you see the number. This is 0.41 blah blah, you know. So and if I do it again and then I multiply 0.62. So for us to get a number between 1 and 10, we have to multiply by 10 to get to 6.2. And then since we are using flow, we can get to only 6. Okay, and I can show you if you multiply by 10. Okay, so we'll see number here. If I do again, that will be 3.6, no 0 anymore. Okay, I think you understand now. Then if you want to do master flow, if we take everything here, if we bring math.flow and run inside this function here, so this will show you as, if you click that, so now it is producing 8, no more 8 point blah blah. Okay, now and then we'll be using this number here. If we put 2 and then there's a number here, it will match these two that you put it here and this one and check whether you got it or not. I hope you understand that. All right, so let's remove this one so we can. Okay, so and then to be and then just add one here, just to make it a little bit, just in case it is 0, you just add 1 or something like that. Okay, because we say if the number is 0 point something, if randomize 0 point something, a flow of 0, it will go beyond this, because we said here a number between 1 and 10. We didn't say 0, so we have to add this number here to make it at least over 1. Okay, so we got that. All right, so let's now get the user guess. Now we have a variable here that will hold the secret number the computer is generating. Okay, so let's get what the customer, or not the customer, what the user is guessing. Okay, let's call it user guess. Okay, user guess is equals to because anything coming from the from the browser is a string by default, so we have to make it integer. We have to pass with that function there. Okay, we have to use this function here, and then we can now get document dot get element by ID, and so this ID, now we need the value of this ID. Okay, can I split it this way? Okay, it doesn't. Okay, I think if I put it down here, okay, there you go, so that it doesn't, I will be able to see everything. Okay, so we got this number here. No, not that number. We got this. We need to get the value coming from this input, and then in this case we have an ID of guess. So we have to put that guess here with a tick mark here. So and then dot value. Okay, so we get that. So if you want to know whether the user got whatever, So let alert it. Okay, let alert user case from the screen. Okay, so if I put that 2, click that, you see 2. So if I refresh again and put another number like 6, you see there's 6. So now at least we know that now we are getting the value from this guy here. Okay, what do we do next? The next thing now is to check, pass through the test checker to check whether this guess number that the user put is equals to the secret number. Okay, so you say user guess is equals to, if it is equals to secret number, then that means that person got the result slide. Okay, so we can say now we need to update the results container. Okay, and before that, let's bring this, forgot to bring in the result container or results element here. Okay, let's put another constant here of results element. Okay, this is the this part here. Okay, we need to capture that so that we can inject the text to say you got the you got correct or wrong. Okay, so we can say document.collect element by ID. Okay, by ID. So what's the ID? The ID is called results. Okay. It has to be a string. Okay, so we got that. Okay, you can put semicolon here, or nowadays you don't have to. Okay, so now we can say results element. Okay, dot now we need to write to that element. Okay, so you do text content, and then we can say, okay, good job, or we can say correct. Okay, you guessed the number. Okay, you guessed the number. Okay, so that's it. Then we can say, for now that's enough. Okay, we can make the text different. We can have add text. We can say results element. If you wanna inject the CSS styles or something like that, or color of maybe something like maybe we can put it this value here. Okay, we can put it 75 45, something like that. Okay, it's not a big deal. What if the user guess a lower number? We say else if the user guess is less than secret number, then we can tell the user, we can tell the user the number is too low. Okay, so we can do the same thing. Okay, is equals to we can say too low. Okay, too low. All right, try a higher number to give an hint. If it is too low, you say try a higher number. Okay, that's that. And then finally, and we can use we can say we can do the same thing as here. Okay, except that we can use a different color, something like that. So we can use a different color to give indication that that is a wrong color. Okay, and we can use very beautiful reddish kind of color. So else what? I don't want to be typing again. You already know the game. So copy and paste. That is the secret weapon for a programmer. You copy and paste. Reuse whatever you've written. Okay. Don't type and type all the time. Okay. Try too high. Try again. Try a lower number. Okay. Try the lower number. Awesome. Okay, and then we can use the same thing if that user didn't get the number, so we can still use the same CSS or the same style. Okay, that is it. All right, so let's try this. Boom. Okay, let's go. All right, the number has been generated. We don't know what is the number, but now let's guess. 3. Oops, too low. Whoa. Okay. 5. Still too low. 8. Too high. 6. Correct. You guessed the number. So, and then we refresh. 7. Too high. 3. Too low. 5. Correct. See, that is beautiful. Okay, so let's wire this one now to reset the game, to play again. So what do you do if you want to reset the game? If you want to reset the game, you have to clear this one and clear this part here, so that the game will be afresh, just like that. Okay, you will need, when you click play again, you clear the input and you clear the results. All right, let's see how we can do that. All right, so let's go back here. This is the button which is saying play again. Let's get this function here, which is invoked by clicking this button. Okay, and you can go down here. After this one, we go outside. Don't put inside. Make sure you are outside, and then you have to start with the keyword function with that name, and then let's alert it to make sure we are calling that function. Okay, you clicked me. All right, let's see whether we can reach to this function. Okay, so boom, you clicked me. That's good. That shows signs of life. Awesome. Let's remove that part. Okay, so what can we do? First, we need to reset this secret number. We need the computer to regenerate the number. We don't want to use the number that it was generated the first time we played the game. Okay, so let's start with this. So the first thing first is the secret number need to be checked, need to be reset. You can reset the secret number by generating the same random number. Okay, yeah, select a random number, a new one. Okay, we know that the secret number now has been generated afresh, and then now we need to get all of document the result part of it, which I will copy whatever I've written here, so we don't have to redo it again. Okay, where's the results? The results is here. Okay, I want to get that. Okay, so I want to change the results, and then what I need to do is assign an empty string. Okay, and then again, and last one, we have to do and I will type this one down here, dot get element by ID, and that ID will be the case. Okay, will be case. We need to reset that. We set the value of that, okay, to be an empty string. Okay, remember there's no value here, so it's just the text. So if there's no value, what we do is we we change the content of that text. In this case, there's nothing in here, but it is injected by this value here. When we run, we'll get something like this. Okay, but this is dynamically injected, so we don't have to. So what we do is we get that results, the content of that results paragraph, and reset it to empty string. Okay, so let's have the last test drive. Okay, run that. Boom. So we have a number has been generated by the computer. Okay, and then we can do that. Oop, too high. Too correct. That's a number. Awesome. I think that is it. Okay, so thank you so much for watching up to this point. What I will suggest is for you to extend this game. Okay, make it to 100, and the easiest way to do is if you want to extend it to 100, you do just add a 0 here to make it 100, and then max to be over 100. Okay, and of course it will be multiplied by 100 here in this case, and then the gas is multiplied by 100. That's it. If you want to extend it, and it is from 1 to 100. See, now if I do 3 is too low. If I do 34, too high. If I do 24, 3, too low. See, it is now above 10. Okay, 22. Okay, too low. 24, 5. Too low. 20, 28. Too low. 30. Too low. 30, 35, 36, too high. 35, too high. 34, too high. 33, too high. The correct answer is 33. Okay, you see that? So thank you so much for watching this, and build this game from start to finish, and you will have a game to enjoy. Thank you so much for watching this game. Bye bye.